Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
After a bit of a hiatus, due to well, due to stuff getting in the way, um, we are back with the Tuesday frequency. I'm really glad for everyone dialing in, and I'm especially glad to have Mariia here as the guest of the hour. So, Mariia, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Actually, I can do it superficial because I have a full slide about myself. So I will go and share the screen.
Perfect. Yeah.
I mean, because everyone, I think, who is right now in and online already knows me. But for the future recording, I will introduce.
Right.
So can you see the slides all well, right?
Yes, and there's a small guinea pig in the lower left corner. So,
Yes. That should point at the fact that I'm coming from adobe.com,
okay.
which was referred to as the guinea pig of the edge delivery
Right.
services I am.
Yeah.
Um,
Our favorite
yeah,
guinea pig, just to make that
exactly.
clear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, this is a slide about me. I was born in Kharkiv in Ukraine, and I studied there at the University of Radio Electronics, studied computer science, and in 2014 began my career at EPAM, which some of you might know.
Yeah.
Back in Ukraine, there were a few projects with IM there, and I somehow landed there directly because I was mostly a Java developer, and it was one of the big projects for one of the Canadian tire retailers, and that was almost the beginning of my developer life, and I saw the IM, and since then I am doing IM project. Um, During the um, further years, I moved from Ukraine to Germany, and after working for some time for Mensa Media, this is a company from Düsseldorf, I switched to Adobe and to Adobe Consulting.
Okay.
And yeah, I just picked up some projects from the Adobe Consulting I worked on. There were some more of them, but it was 2.5 years of the very, very various IM versions and also even products. So I worked also with IM screens and so on and so forth until I switched to the best project on earth, Adobe.com. So I left the consultancy and am now working on our website happily since 2021. I hope so. I just put it out of my mind, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's about me.
Okay. Very cool.
Now, yeah, let's see. So that's what I want to talk about today and what I want to present. Um, a bit of background, Adobe.com, everyone probably knows, we are moving into the using edge delivery services. We kind of already half through. Our major pages are already running on it. And while we're doing this, of course, we are accommodating all our very specific use cases. And one of these use cases is that we are running promotions. And promotion is a period of time when the whole website is showing some very specific content with some discounts or some special offers. And it's across all of our sites, right? Creative Cloud, Document Cloud, homepage. And it is scheduled, so there is some specific time when it starts, specific time when it ends. And yeah, here is just some examples. What are these periods? It's a Black Friday, for example, Cyber Monday, Max, back to school, somewhere in August, we present some offers. In general, there are few big ones like this that I listed, and around 50 other small ones. So we are almost all the time are running them, but
Hmm.
on different pages sometimes. So Black Friday touches the whole website, but maybe some small offers that we are running right now are only touching in the 5 geos 2 or 3 pages. Okay. Now, this is just the comparisons. On the left, you see the base page. This is a page on the edge delivery, which shows, as always, a marquee, some cards on it. And this is how the page looks during the promo. You get a bit bigger marquee section with some offer for students. And you get maybe this card is with the same offer and another card is the different offer. So this is the about the use case. Now a bit of boring slides. And sorry, I forgot to mention, if anyone have a question, please interrupt me and ask it better while I'm talking and not in the end.
So, Mariia, if you go back one slide to compare this, so this is the special offers page that we are basically running year round, right? And then during these promotion times, we replace the hero, it looks like, or are we replacing other content as well?
Yeah, so this is let's call it hero. We call it marquee, doesn't matter.
Okay.
This hero block, right? It's
Yeah.
been replaced. And also you see here the 2 of the cards are different.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, and I noticed that the cards were different. Just wanted to make sure that this is part of the promotion and not just that you took the screenshots at different times and they.
No. So
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
So this view, let's say, will last for the 2 weeks, and then it will be back to this one.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already mentioned. So they always have a start and end date time, and I would say it's not longer than a month or even shorter. Probably Black Friday is the long running one, but the rest of them are shorter. And the content can be different based on the region. So sometimes in Europe, we would decide to promote a bit differently, or in the APAC region, they would also decide for something else. The dates for this schedule can also be a bit different. There is a lot of variation. Why I mention it because it's a lot of work for the people who prepare and who work on these promotions, because they do need to configure it for each of the things separately.
Right.
It's not something very common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
this is
Mariia,
yeah.
one more question. When you say the content and the timing differs based on region, this is content region, right? Not visitor region. So you're looking at
Yes, it
yep.
is a content region, not
Okay.
not the visitor. No.
Okay, got it.
For the visitors, that's maybe another important thing to mention, that for the visitors, there is no personalization. And it's the phrase that Nicola likes to repeat over and over. So promotions are not personalization.
Right.
They are really the same for everyone who will visit.
Yeah.
They don't depend. And they should be shown to everyone. This is
Right.
one of the also major requirements. I mentioned here how we used to implement them before, when we had the experience fragments in the previous version of aem. You would create a variation of an experience fragment, and you had a mechanism to put a schedule on it, to put this on and off date on this variation. You could already publish it in advance, but in aem, in the Java, there would be this mechanism that would check the time. If it's not yet the time,
Right.
it would be hiding it, showing you the default. When it is the time,
Right.
it would suddenly show you the promo.
Yeah.
So that's how it was implemented before.
Okay. How did
Good.
do you know how this worked with caching and caching validation?
Yeah, they had to. So that was always the case that they would have to clean the cache when they go
Right.
live.
Okay.
So there was always manual step, right?
Okay.
I don't remember if we had some automation. I'm not sure, so I don't want to
Right.
mislead you. Maybe there was some also scheduled clean cache, but I'm afraid it was something like a go live call when everyone joins and
Right.
someone clicks that button and
Yep.
people start validating that everything is cool.
Yeah.
So, and
Okay.
that's good that you asked, because yes, we we have an improvement with the cache part there with the its delivery. But it's also a bit of requirements. I just wanted to mention the promotion content, those hero blocks and cards that you saw, they are prepared by a separate team of people. So that team doesn't touch the base pages usually,
Right.
and they don't want to even have access to the base pages because their work is really to prepare these very special pieces. And they wanted that content to be in one place, and they didn't want to touch the base page at all. And the one of the most important things they asked for, they wanted to prepare them in advance. Sometimes they have a few of the promotions in the pipeline, so they work on several of them. In the meantime, the base page also needs to be updated from time to time. If we go back to the screen, so there are some fixes that are just coming in for the rest of cards, for example, or here, or while this being prepared, right? And this page has to be published, but at the same time, if I fix something on this individual card, on the first card, then the expectation is that when the promotion goes live, this promo variation of this page will also have that fix.
Right.
That was maybe yesterday done by the other guy.
Yeah.
And with this in mind, okay, I even had this slide. Good. And a bit more on requirement on scheduling. They wanted scheduling to work similar to how it worked before, so that this on and off is automatic and nobody needs to do any manual job apart from cache, right? And the content authors, they wanted to have some preview, some validation for the pages, right? So when you prepare this, you want to see how it will look like when it's live, and there might be some other conflicts, right? So good. This is requirements. I think I mentioned we can skip the details. It's all fine. Now to what we started thinking for this use case. When we got the requirements, this was the first thing that we checked was the experimentation framework, because you can create the copies of the page and serve them to the users. It kind of made sense, except that part that we would need to maintain the copies of the page. And when we do the updates to the base page, we would need to somehow update the rest of them as well all the time. And this was our call that, okay, not the best fit, because every time you have to copy whole content and not do some granular update, which normally we notice that. I took here, by the way, example, marquee is often the case for promos, but not always. One more very common use case is just when they build up some additional promo bar, they call it. Just a small block, another image that leads you to some super deal. So the updates are sometimes very kind of small, and the rest of pages stays as is. So we decided that this will not serve this use case, but there were much more options. I've just put here two to talk to save the time. Eventually the option that we decided to try is some self-implemented, right, Milo implemented experimentation framework, which also this was implemented by the personalization team. So it's not something that was meant for promotions. It's something that already existed in Milo.
Right.
And personalization team used it well for personalization. So they were updating it, but for the specific, what you were asking, specific visitors, they were changing the page,
Right.
small
Yeah.
pieces of it. But they had a very nice mechanism for us in place, which allows you to match some block of the page, hero, and replace it, right? Or
Okay.
match the third card and insert something after it.
Right.
It really sounded like we can take a part of their work and use it for our needs as well. And what we liked is that we don't have to touch the base page. We adapt to the changes. So when someone changes in the base page, of course, you know, when they remove this card, then something on our side can break because we maybe depend on it. We replace it with this one. But this is much less risk than, having the whole copy all over again and trying to merge
Right.
those conflicts.
Okay.
Um, they already had, as I mentioned, they already had implemented many things, so it was really making sense, saving time. Good. We share the code base, we share the requirements. They had nice preview, a bit similar to the preview of the experimentation framework, but I will show today what's built up on top of that. And the missing part was scheduler. So the personalization guys, they use Target. We didn't want to use Target under no circumstances because we wanted to serve this content to everyone. And
Right.
with Target, depends. Yeah. So we also didn't want to content authors to go that far. So we wanted to provide them the faster way to give it to user. In aem,
Right.
they just had to set these dates on XF, so we were searching for something similar.
Mm-hmm.
So that last part is what we had to implement. Already talked. This was the options that we consider for scheduling. Target, no. The second one option that we looked at was the bulk publish, where the idea was that you publish your promotion content, and as soon as it hits the um, Helix Live,
Yep.
as soon as it's published, it is being shown to user.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would have also scheduled unpublish that would schedulely take it down,
Right.
and then it's not shown. But it, I'm still thinking it might have worked well. Who knows? But there is this risk always that something is going wrong and your go live becomes a disaster. If something went wrong and something got not published and it's not shown, or the publishing takes a bit longer than anticipated, then it's not on time already shown, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even bigger issue, there is no way to preview and be sure that it will look exactly how you want it to look. So that preview option was not there.
Right.
Anyway, we found a bit different way, a bit better, which we use. But that was kind of also a good option, I think. So now, oversimplified way, how do you create, as a content author, how do you prepare for this promotion? You create the so-called, we call them also fragments. I think it's not the general concept. I believe it's Milo concept. Fragments just also looks like a Word document as always, but it contains normally either one block or several, and
Right.
it's being loaded through the plain HTML in your page, and the loading page is responsible to render it properly.
Yeah.
It yeah, client side experience fragments, if you can say so. Then you, as a content author, you know how they should be used, right? You want to replace marquee, you want to delete the third text block on the page. This is a set of instructions. This set of instructions, what should be done, goes into Excel files. I used here the Excel icon. This Excel file defines all the actions for the specific promotion. So let's say
Yep.
we have Black Friday. It has the list of instructions for all the pages. That's how we decided to do it. Not one page, all the pages in one file. You can see immediately the impact, what's going on all of those pages, and you say,
Right.
here, do this, here, do that, here. Once you're done with this, you just need to take this set of instructions and schedule it and attach it on your affected pages. And this is done via metadata. So just via metadata, we say, maybe I go, well, I will show it also in the demo, but we say, okay, my affected page gets this set of instructions, but it should kick in on the 1st November and it should be taken down on the 20th of November.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. Now you can publish all of this. On the client side, there will be a check that, hey, is it time already? If it's already the time, then this whole thing will happen. Usually they don't publish it very well in advance, but theoretically it's possible. And the good part of this is that all of this exists on a preview, at least.
Right.
So you are able to always preview, right, how it will look like.
Yeah.
Good. Now, fine. Yeah. End of slides. Let's start. Very quick demo. Any questions until now?
No, let's take a look at the demo.
What? I prepared a little bit. Very, very simple page. So you recognize from the slides.
Yep.
If it's all good, yeah. And we are just going to create a promotion, and I'm gonna to dive a bit more in details. Let's see. I need to consult my demo script because I forgot what I want to demo. Good. Yeah, let's start by creating manifest. So for manifest, this set of instructions, we have the special Excel file, obviously, with some rules in it. I will call it EMEA Q2. Let's pretend we have a promotion right now. And here I can provide what changes do I want on my page. In my case, I want to replace content. So I will use replace content. But you can see this is also a bit specific Milo, right? You can replace the fragment if you want to load some other fragment.
Yeah.
Replace the page. Don't really remember. Probably it's complete redirect, but we don't use that. Insert content after updating metadata, removing content, and there are more actions in development. We just use Daisy. Now, how do you locate the block? Is there is either a usual CSS selector, so that's what I will be using today, but you can implement some better things for the content author so that they don't have to pretend they're coding here, but yeah, you can call them by block name. Page filter is something that you would use if you change 20 pages. You would specify for which one is this change. But since I just have one line, I omit it, and I need my fragment, my promotion fragment. Let's go and find it. I already prepared it, my marquee. And let me see if it's published already. I think it is. But normally you just provide the preview. And that's about it. That's all we kind of need to do. We just need to preview and publish this now.
Okay. Mariia, you changed the title of the cell D1 to all. What was the significance of that?
Yeah, remember I mentioned that this mechanism was implemented by personalization team.
Right.
And if you noticed, when I created the manifest, I will create another just for the sake of. You see, they have here the target challenger name. So what the personalization team is using, they provide here, let's say, visitor or logged in. And they can have many different columns here for who. So this is
Okay.
for which page, right? And this is
Right.
for who is this change?
Okay,
For
got it.
which guy?
Okay, got it.
In
So
our
that's,
case,
yeah,
everyone should get it. So we have this
right.
special kind of all.
Okay. So that's basically the segment or the audience that is being targeted.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
I did a preview, sorry. I will publish it already. I'm copying this URL.
Hmm.
Cool. So it's already available, nice. And what is left is to attach this set of instruction to my
Right.
page, to this page.
Yeah.
For that, I go to metadata, but metadata, the global one, well, it's growing big, and we wanted to have basically it's the content authors who asked us. They didn't feel very comfy all the time updating the global metadata file. So we agreed we will create a special one for them.
Okay.
I told myself to not demo, so I cannot open this file, but in this
Hmm.
config, you can provide the list of your custom metadatas. And there is a line there mentioning that one of our metadata files is this promotions XLS. Now I'm going
Okay.
to show you that one. Uh, are we in Milo? Yes, we are. It's under promos. So it might not look like it, but that's a metadata.
Right. Yeah, no,
And
looks
actually here looks quite
right.
recognizable.
Yeah.
And the a bit of validation slash security that we've built up here is that this file only can provide the manifest names field to the page. You cannot create another field. That means that you cannot override what's in global
Right.
metadata. It's not
Okay.
possible.
Okay.
At least this much is
Yeah.
good. And how do I, as a content author, attach this thing to the page? I go first to schedule. I need to provide my schedule. As the previous line is my experiment from yesterday, I'm just gonna copy it all over today. First field, I will go more details later. Let me skip it for now. Um, then manifest name, I will find out. Okay, I already have a MIAQ one, but demo. Okay, date. Let's pick up a date today, and today is enough. Now with the time, I need to think. The time you see, we couldn't do what we were doing in IM. In IM, we had the time zone of your local author.
Hmm.
Here, we agreed that we will use GMT. So
Right.
for them, the instruction is to actually go and Google something like current GMT time, because they are all from different regions, right? So for me, it's +1, but for some,
Hmm.
yeah, they Google that and they say, okay, it's 8:35. Let me configure it for 8:45, and that will give me enough time to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
So at 8:45, we will be expecting it to light up, and my demo will be finished. And okay, for the 8:50, we can say that it will go down. And my manifest passed. That's it. This is, imagine you've created the schedule item, right? But you still
Hmm.
need to attach it to the page, and you attach it by the copying the manifest ID name, manifest name. Yeah. And here you say, okay, this one, and my page is now another one also. I created a full copy of the stuff. That's it. Preview and publish.
How does the schedule get published? Um,
magically. I will show it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it depends if you are very big lover of the Excel or are you not.
Yeah.
I was planning to skip it for this
No,
call, but
I'm
this Excel has a crazy amount of rules hidden in between these columns of B and E,
right.
and in between these columns of G and N.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay,
this
got
was
it.
a lot of the
Right.
experiments.
Okay.
Basically, what
Yep.
happens, it takes this item.
Right.
I will very shortly touch it. It takes this line and combines it
Right.
in this kind of line.
Right.
You see,
So yeah. So
just
it's
merges it with the
yeah.
pipes in between.
So it's
Yeah,
basically
and then
some V lookup or something like that to merge it in, right?
I'm not sure what's
We don't
VLOOKUP. I
we don't we
can't
don't
say
we
it.
don't have to we don't have to look at the formula, but let's say
Yeah, yeah.
there's
So
some Excel formula magic happening.
yes, but I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not greedy to share the formula later if someone
Right.
has interest, but I'm sure to replicate it for me would take days.
Yeah.
I was creating this formula and was very proud in the end, but now I'm happy that I don't have to touch it anymore.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the end, it collects all those items that you see in one field of metadata. You can
Hmm.
see here,
Right.
right, that schedule contains all of them. And
Right.
that means that they grow as soon as you provide more and more, this one field becomes bigger and bigger.
Right.
It's a bit of an issue, which I still keep in my head. And that's why we introduced this on off. So once you say off for these guys, and if I will republish this file, they will disappear from here.
Okay.
So we are asking the content authors when they don't need anymore these items.
Right.
Let's say they want to save it for later. It's okay. Just switch it off, and it
Yeah.
will at least will not go to the pages. That's about it.
Okay.
Good. So actually, I talked about that. We previewed but didn't publish. Let's publish. And it's not yet time, so we are good.
Hmm.
Okay. So now I published. Let me see. Did I do everything correct? Yeah. So I published, but I don't expect any effect here because it's not the time yet, right? So we'll just not see anything.
Yeah.
While we are waiting for the 45 to kick in, let's see the preview mechanism.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I
And
was about
maybe one more.
to ask about that. Great.
Cool. I will close everything. Don't like too many tabs. Now, let's go to the preview. And here it comes. So this is our preview window
Hmm.
in which I can observe my manifest attached.
Yeah.
And I can see that it's inactive. And here you see that the schedule is my local time zone already. So
Yeah.
it would change, depends on who is opening this page.
Right.
And this, what you see, radio buttons is for the promotion. It makes just the difference between there is nothing, it's a base page or
Hmm.
control, or all is that field, that D1 cell you saw in Excel are the
Yeah.
changes. So I can click forcefully, I can call preview, and it will reload the page and show me how it will look like in future.
Got
Now
it.
with this link, I can go to my business people, well, QA people, content QA, and tell them to test it.
Great.
From
Yeah.
here, yeah, I can navigate also to this manifest. So there are some shortcuts for the people, and I can highlight the changes, and it will tell me from which of the manifests. So this all beautiful functionality
Yeah.
is done by the personalization team because they are having a big usage of it as well, and
Great.
we are prioritizing on it. It's super nice for the authors, and
Yeah.
they love it. You can have an advanced option to attach some completely random manifest of changes to see how it will it conflict, will it not, and so on. There is the conflicts in mind you have to have, right? Because we are updating the page, but also personalization guys are updating the page,
Mm-hmm.
and it needs multiple previews over the time.
Yeah.
Okay, what else did I? One more small technical detail. If I remove this and go to the base view, and how was my manifest called EMEA, right? If I search for the EMEA, you can see that the manifest is not loaded, even though it's kind of listed here in preview,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not being loaded. Why? Because it's not active yet. So this is just for the performance reasons, and that's the plus of us using metadata.
Right.
We
Yeah.
get scheduled from metadata. We can see that, okay, we don't need this file yet, so we will
Right.
not load this page.
Yeah.
And that's actually it. So we still have 3 minutes to talk of something before
Okay.
it goes live. Maybe
Right.
cache. So cache, you don't have to do anything, obviously, because
Sure.
by the time, if you do everything a bit in advance, then by the time user has opened it, it will already be
Right.
all there, all prepared. We
Yeah.
can actually go and kind of validate. You can validate even live page, how it will look like, right?
Yeah.
If you click all and preview, and just switch here to the live, it will show you the stuff. Should show you the stuff. Yeah. So here I am on the live pretending that I am already in the time, and I can verify. But yeah, we are gonna remove this. I
So
think
yeah.
to save time, we can skip even demoing how it will go down, but it will go down the same way.
Yeah. So while we have 2 minutes to kill, one thing that I found interesting, right? You mentioned we don't want to use the scheduled bulk publish because we can't be 100% certain that it's happening on the dot, right? And
Mhm.
instead we're essentially delegating it to the visitor's browser, right? To keep the right time.
Yeah,
And the fascinating thing here is on the one hand that these days obviously all of our visitors clocks are in sync, right? Because they all use NTP to get the up-to-date time, well, the majority of them are using mobile phones, so that's so they actually get the time through the network, and that basically reflects a bigger picture, right? Which is that we are trusting the clients way more to behave intelligently and act on behalf of
yeah.
on behalf of the visitor.
It brings us to the rightful concern that if they change their time, they will see something else, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
if for
but
some reason they have some other time. And it was really a concern for us as well.
yeah,
Can we publish the promo stuff in advance, or can
hmm
we leave it live after it's done?
yeah,
But for us, the good part is that our commerce is dynamic, so we load the prices from another provider, and
okay,
we send when you're going to buy something, we send you to another page,
right,
which will make sure that if promo is finished, then you cannot get it
right,
anymore.
okay,
So it was considered for us to okay, it's safe even if someone will see it, right? Usually it's hours actually. It's published hours in
yeah,
advance or
right,
maximum day, but that was okay risk for us. It's
yeah,
fine if you see
yeah,
it
and
in a day in
you you
advance.
you certainly don't want to
Yeah.
ruin anyone's Thanksgiving dinner over a Black Friday promotion. So
Exactly.
yeah, and
Should be live, yeah.
yeah, let's
Oh
let's
no,
take
the demo went wrong. I think I refreshed it, but it didn't appear. Why not? Uh, Maybe I had the browser cache. I don't know.
yeah, okay, there we
But
are,
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the whole use case. if no one has a questions. I mean, it's just an idea what can be implemented. I didn't show the Lighthouse course because it might be interesting as well, right? The base page, the change page. Obviously, it comes with the cost on the Lighthouse core. If you have some further JavaScript rendering this marquee, and we do. So we are still working on making it impactless. But right now, in this page, which I very carefully prepared for the demo, I think the score is either 99 or 100. But that's because I removed some things.
Right.
In the long run, you would need to implement a lot of 99, you see. You would need to be very careful how you load, because this is a fragment, and you have to load first the manifest. Then you load your plain HTML. Then you at least need some hacks to load the image first, to render it as fast as possible. In our case, we sometimes wait for some dynamic price to get from yet another place into it. Yeah, so comes with the cost, but very nice usage for the content authors. And considering that this thing will run maybe for the 2 weeks in a year and not always touch your recipe, still kind of good.
Okay. Yeah. So we already touched on how the prices are coming in, right? Because they're essentially being pulled from the e-commerce system, correct?
Yes, that deserves a separate session.
Okay.
But yes, we load them
Yeah.
client side from a
Right.
separate
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
web
Because
service.
you you certainly you certainly don't want to allow that to go out of sync, right? So that you're advertising something for, let's say, 9.99 in your content, and then when somebody is checking
Yeah.
out, it's suddenly 19.99. I think a lot of people would be upset about this,
Yeah.
if, if, even
Yeah.
even if there was no intention to deceive. And
Yes.
the second
In the past,
question,
we actually
yeah,
had quite some issues.
right,
And I will just touch very shortly. We had quite some issues in the past
right,
on that,
yeah,
the prices were pulled still from the other place, right, the commerce
right,
provider, but they were cached on IAM in the
right,
backend part. And this was another big project that the team I'm working for did in 2 years ago, a
yeah,
year ago, that we switched to this completely client-side consumption,
yeah,
and yeah, it's been good since then.
right. So my other question would be, um, how do you measure the success of these promotions? What is how is the business impact assessed?
Yeah, they generate a lot of money. That's all I know, but I think they use the usual tools. I mean, analytics and the stuff. So
Okay.
it's yeah. I to be honest, I don't know how exactly they measure it.
Okay.
All I know it's for the Black Friday, it's really the major money generator.
Right. Is
Yeah.
there is there special
There
instrumenta
is.
is there special instrumentation for to feed that data into analytics so that you can see which purchase has been coming through a promotion and which purchase has been happening organically, or is that just
Yeah,
time
I mean,
based?
of course. So we always know the which one did you click on, right? So which offer did you
Right.
buy through? And normally, when you buy some discounted ones, it's the very specific offer created for this
Right.
Black Friday.
Got it.
It's as I remember, I mentioned that there is this security part that even if you see this fragment 1 month in advance, you can click as much as you want on it, but it will not lead you to the proper purchase
Hmm.
because this specific offer is not yet active
Right.
existing, and
Yeah.
they have on the commerce part they have their own
Yeah.
guardrails in place.
Right.
And so the same way they know that you bought the Photoshop through
Yeah.
that very special offer, and they can calculate
Right.
how many. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, I think these are all
Cool.
questions from my end. But I see we have a number of people here, so maybe there are additional questions from the folks on the call. Okay.
Good.
Well, if
No questions is also good.
Silence.
if you're all too shy to ask, then Maria, thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing how this works, both from an authoring perspective, but also the design decisions and the trade-offs you made while designing this. And I think it's a really interesting case, right? Where you have to decide what degree of interaction do you want to have in a system like this, right? The advantage of having very little interaction is that things are very, very easy to explain to authors. Right? You can say, if you want to have a different variant of your page, just copy the page, put it in the metadata, and there's your test. Right. But with the constraints that happen with the Adobe.com team, right, where you have country-specific teams that are moving content at one pace, and you have the promotions team that is moving content at another pace. It's absolutely reasonable to have this additional layer of interaction in there, and I would say despite all of this, the overall system is really, really legible, right? So if you've built a couple of sites with edge delivery services, you can immediately detect the patterns. And the only thing you notice, right? The only thing that stumped me was that you had a couple of columns hidden in your Excel, where I said, "Oh, there's magic happening. Where is that?" Which again, right? If we would look at the JSON that is coming over the wire, we could see it immediately, right? Because
Yeah.
there are no hidden columns there are no hidden columns in JSON. It's so yeah. Thank thank you.
Someone make the waving. Okay, thank you a lot.
Yeah. I see we have one question on the chat. Dominik, can you read that?
Oh, no, he needed to drop.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
whoever you are,
Question.
bye. Great. Okay, excellent. One last chance. Are there other questions from the community?
Maybe just a comment. What I really figured out is the developer behavior has to change. Now you have to know how to work with Excel. You have to be capable of formulas. And in the past, always developers were, oh no, Office, that's not my tool. That actually is changing. Now they have to do macro and formulas.
Yeah. Well,
I'm scared to say it, but I found it beautiful by the end. You know, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, so Excel is a really powerful functional programming language. That's the way you should see it. And all the variables have by default strange names like D5. But you can have things like cell ranges. So it's incredibly powerful. And one thing that I found very, very useful when writing Excel formulas is to ask ChatGPT for help, because that's much faster than just looking up the documentation and parsing it and well, I think even the Excel documentation is now created for a younger generation, which means there's a video for every formula, and I just don't have the patience for this. So
that takes time, yeah.
Yep. So ChatGPT is perfect for creating Excel formulas.
Yeah, and it's about also thinking how can you make it safe, right? Because while we're working on this promotion files with a lot of the rules on the cells, I broke it so many times, and it's so easy to break in the end, that you have to remember also to, after your work is done, to restrict it. so that
Right.
they cannot possibly do
Yeah.
something wrong there.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So thanks everyone for dialing in. Mariia, thank you so much again.
Thank you for inviting.
Yeah. And we are Dominik. Where are we with schedule for upcoming sessions?
So the schedule will be still on the community and here in,
Okay.
but I think we are working on content, so it will
Excellent.
come.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So and as always, if you have questions in the meantime, we have the Discord chat. We are there. Looking forward to your questions, comment, and feedback. Thanks everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.